Hey Shawtys!
This is Brittany
and Lauren, and welcome to our podcast where you can have whatever you like. We said you can have whatever you like. Yeah! Hey Shawtys! Welcome to the Whatever You Like podcast, presented by your hosts, Brittany and Lauren.
Our podcast name and this episode title is brought to you by a concept that we'll be using throughout this venture, where we use a millennial song title as a code name for our episode topic. But before we get into today's topic, let's give a shout out to the song itself.
To be famous, I want to be a star, I want to be in movies. When I grow up, I want to see the world, drive nice cars, I want to have groupies.
Nailed it. So, Lauren, in 200 words or less, what is your commentary on this song?
200 words or less.
Yes, that's the standard.
That's the standard for the Whatever You Like podcast.
Yes.
So this song, it was actually one of the first songs I burned onto a CD for my first car. So I was a cheerleader in school, and this song, it was such a catchy girl song.
Yeah.
Like a poppy girl song for our time. And it really empowered people to be themselves and have fun. And it was just one of those songs that it was the number one track on my CD that I burned on LimeWire.
You use LimeWire. Okay. Illegal.
Oh. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. No, it makes you want to get up on top of a car and dance. Like how they do in the music video. It's so much fun.
My commentary is it's a really great song to blare in your car. Even in, what year is it? 2025?
Yeah.
And what the song came out in 2008, it said. What about your commentary?
I don't have a specific memory for this song. I just remember playing it at sleepovers, dances, whatever. But I did do a little research. Basically, the song was originally written for Britney Spears.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see that, though. That would be a great song for her to sing.
But she turned it down. Probably, I'm thinking about it, just knowing a little bit of her life because I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
She probably just really hated the fame at that time. And she's like, no, I don't want to be famous anymore.
I could see that, though.
But it was produced by Darkchild, which he's produced some of her other songs as well.
That is a really interesting fact, especially because we also grew up on Britney Spears.
Yeah. I can't really imagine her singing it. I think it happened the way it was supposed to. But
I can't imagine her singing it either. So I do think it happened the way it was supposed to. I think it'd be weird if she sang it, like, after we've heard all of her other music.
Yeah.
So I think it made sense for the Pussycat Dolls to sing it.
It was actually written for the main singer after that, or not written, but after Britney Spears turned it down, then it was like, okay, the main singer, Nicole. I can't pronounce her last name, and then it ended up going to the Pussycat Dolls in general. So
I wonder whatever happened to the Pussycat Dolls. I should have researched that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They really popped off for a little while.
I think they did like a comeback actually not that long ago. They did some kind of like dancing in water thing. Really? I'm pretty sure, but yeah, I could just be lying. That may have been a dream I had.
Don't lie to our fans.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure, but I thought Burger King was in the last song, that we talked about.
So it could just be.
Don't trust my judgment.
Yeah, I feel like the Pussycat Dolls, they really had some hits though.
Yeah.
They did for that time of our life, and that was a good one. So I think it's a great episode title, and you should all go and stream the song. For folks who have heard it or haven't heard it in years, you should all go and listen to it and watch the music video, because I just watched it and it made me feel old, but also it's really cool to like watch it now.
Yeah. Also, we're going to play our game that we always play.
Our weekly game.
Favorite lyric, no context.
All right. Do you want to go first this time?
I will go first. Favorite lyric I chose was, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Oh, wow. So we both chose it.
Okay.
You know what that means?
What does that mean?
It means
we gotta get the gavel. And it's been decided.
So what it means is that we have to do the social TikTok follow up together.
Because we picked the same lyric.
Yeah, you don't know why yet.
No context, but it is a great lyric. Yeah. For proof, though, we really did pick the same one. I wrote it down. Okay. I just mean people want proof because, like, of our careers, evidences.
Right.
We have evidence.
We don't lie on this series.
We do not lie on this series.
Well, that was fun. So, with that being said, today's episode topic shouldn't really be a mystery because it's pretty self-explanatory. But we're going to have a blast from the past as we talk about what we wanted to be when we grew up. Lauren.
Yes.
As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
That's a great question. I feel like thinking back when I was younger, I had the traditional thing of I wanted to be a teacher. And, what's funny is, this won't surprise anyone, but for a long time, I was so set on being a hairdresser. Yeah. Like, so set. That's such a cool career. I know that's, kind of unique.
How old were you when you decided that?
Probably like middle school.
Okay.
It just was something that I feel like everyone else was like, why would you pick that in middle school?
It's actually very brave of you, because a lot of people we were kind of forced to pick a practical job.
But I obviously didn't become a hairstylist, so clearly that wasn't practical.
You kind of do it on the side.
I do it on the side, so, But like when I was younger, I would say, well, how young?
You know, like elementary school, high school.
I changed my major a few times in college.
No, that college doesn't count.
No, but
we were already grown up by then.
Yeah, but like, I'm still not grown up now.
Well, yeah, that's
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing with my career. I quit my job.
That's true.
No, I feel like elementary school, I always loved animals, so like a vet, and I always loved helping people, so like teacher. I feel like those were two things that I was like really set on. I wasn't that creative when I was younger, as far as like kids like, I want to be an astronaut. I'm like, I want to be a vet. Yeah, I like cats.
Yeah, I think I always picked like practical answers.
Yeah.
Like for me, I always wanted to be a vet as well.
Yeah.
And whenever I did get to college, I did kind of want to do zoology, or like I kind of wanted to do National Geographic stuff. But with the zoology, it was like you had to be really good at physics and chemistry,
science,
in addition to biology. And I was like, there's just no way.
100%. I took some science classes and I dropped them because they were so hard. Actually, when I entered college, I think I've told you this before, that I wanted to be a dermatologist. And so I was really into skin care. And so I was like, I'm going to be a dermatologist. And they were like, you have to take science classes. And I was like, absolutely not. And then I was like, I'm going to be a news reporter. But I switched my major a lot.
I feel like you'd be really good at news reporting, actually.
You think so?
Yeah, you should go back to that.
A hairdresser who news reports?
Yeah.
Coming to you live. No, I just feel like I would be a millennial news reporter. Like, I'd be reporting on, like, Vanderpump Rules. I'd be, like, a reality news reporter. That would be fun.
What is it, E-News?
Yeah,
or like
I would
something
be on, like, news. Because they talk about fashion, too. That'd be, like, my dream.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see you on TRL. Is that what it's called? TRL?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah, but I don't know if that even exists anymore, to be honest.
Well, we're millennials.
But whenever I think of news reporting, though, I always think of Karen Smith.
Who's that?
From Mean Girls.
Oh, yeah. Like, sorry, I thought we were talking
about the weather.
Yes. Well, Brittany's kind of like my Mean Girls, like, you know, she coaches me through how to do the podcast and the social media.
By the end of this, you're going to be so done with me.
No.
I think I should have been a director at this point, because whenever we're filming the TikToks and stuff, I'm like, okay, repeat the line first and before we get started. And
if you guys could see, I'm going to get a second phone at some point so we can film behind the scenes. If you could see, Brittany's like, okay, Lauren, get it together. You need to say your lines. And I'm like, thank God I have her, because I don't even know what the lines are. I've already said them before. You would be a great director, though.
I think I would be a great dictator, too. At this point.
You have such good attention to detail. And like, I just feel like you would be really, really good at kind of seeing the big picture, but also telling people how to like get their shit together. Yeah. You would be good at that.
I mean, it is really fun though, because I've never tried that before, like with the filming and stuff. Media. It's fun.
Yeah, so go check out our TikToks. Yeah. They are awesome and not cringe at all. So you should definitely go and watch all of them. And
they are Christopher Nolan worthy.
We should win an Emmy.
But, yeah, I watched a lot of Animal Planet, so I definitely wanted to be a vet. And I realized I couldn't do that because I love animals too much. I would be not able to handle it for the bad stuff. And then when college came around, I majored in psychology, so I thought about being a therapist. I'm kind of like an unpaid therapist sometimes these days.
I am an unpaid therapist.
Yeah, like for my clients, you know. I mean, for my friends, that's fine. But sometimes it's just, wow, I really should get paid for this. But a lot of these professions don't get paid enough. That's the problem. Yeah, so that's why I went with the attorney route.
I mean, we both made the practical decision.
Yeah.
You majored in psychology and what else?
English literature.
And I majored in political science and economics by the end of my decision of what to major in. And I think we both had the same thing, like, what do we do after this? And everyone steered us in the direction of going to law school as the responsible thing to do.
I just never decide. And one of the reasons I chose law school is because I just saw that whenever you get a JD, there's a lot of different things you can do. You don't have to necessarily become a lawyer if you don't want to. You can work for the FBI. You can just do all these other things. And so, that's why I was like, well, can't decide. So I guess I'm just going to wing it like $300,000 later.
But it was the same thing. Yeah. I was thinking about public policy or law, and my mentor sat me down and was like, yeah, but with a law degree, you can do a lot more than you can with a public policy degree. And so I did that too, knowing that I never wanted to be in a courtroom every day, probably. but I could do something with it. But I bet you if you polled most of the people who went to law school, it was for the same reason, to be honest. My graduation cap was decorated with Legally Blonde.
Oh, okay.
So when I graduated undergrad, Legally Blonde's one of my favorite movies, and you know, I think it's one of those things that don't chase your dreams. No, I'm kidding. They're not as great as they're cracked up to me.
So you knew, right? Because I took a year off after I graduated. So like I still didn't know. So I was working as a legal assistant at a law firm. That was like my job. Mm-hmm. And after college, because I kind of had an idea, but I wanted to see what it was like. Yeah. And it was hard because that was my first time moving out of my hometown too when I went to law school. But I just felt like I had to do something. I couldn't just like sit around.
I had the same feeling. I was kind of ready for a change and ready to like get out there and do something different. So we both moved to Charleston to go to law school, and that's where we met. And it's kind of crazy how that happens. I went right from undergrad to law school. Didn't take a break, which definitely contributed to the burnout being in school for that long. And we also took summer classes.
I'm glad I took a break though, because I wouldn't have been in the same class as you then.
I know.
And then we wouldn't have met.
We met in legal writing.
Yeah. We met in our legal writing class. For people who aren't familiar with law school, it's a smaller class compared to some of the other classes. So you can kind of get to know people a bit easier.
I think it was one of those things that there was also a lot of pressure from, you know, my personal life to like do something more with my life. And so everyone's like, oh, she's going to be the future Elle Woods. And like, it just like stuck. Yeah. And so like, as crazy as that sounds to a lot of people, I'm sure, it was one of those things like chase the dream that you want to be. I probably wanted to be more of the other things that Elle Woods had, but the legal part of it was part of the stick, I guess. And so I thought if I did that, maybe I could find myself in other ways. And also it's a safe career path to choose. And, you know, a lot of my family didn't go to college. And so it was one of those things of choose the safe path.
Same. With my majors in college, you know, you have your like supervisor or whatever that kind of guides you to what you want to do. And so I just remember them telling me that like with the majors I had, that law school would be a good option. Then I also had my dad telling me that because I like to argue, like everyone was just saying.
Same.
I think it's really, people just were like, you have a big mouth and you're always fighting back, so you just need to go to law school, basically.
I think that's the thing they always say. Like, we're starting this podcast because we like to talk.
Yeah.
And we enjoy conversation. And I think folks who like to talk, you assume they should go to law school.
Well, see, I was really introverted. I don't feel like I was necessarily a talkative person.
To your friends, though.
Well, yeah, but my friends didn't say I should go to law school. Like with my parents, well, I just like really remember my dad saying that a lot. And then I think it's just because I won the argument. Sorry, Dad.
I mean, same. Like, I'm not one to like give up on a good argument.
I was definitely like, I have to have the last word for like the longest time.
I was too.
Pre-Prozac.
Pre-therapy. I also was like that. And now I've learned that that's not always the best case scenario.
Right.
But I will say is that in law school, having that fire behind you does make a difference. And that's why a lot of folks end up in the career and arguing in front of courts every day, is they have that personality.
Even though that's not the type of lawyer I've been so far, I feel like I still have it in me, but I just don't want to do that right now. I feel like I can do that in other ways, like on the podcast or something. I'll just do like a rant session.
But one thing it taught me is that I'd hope that law school would find a way for me to help people too. And I think get so focused on not that a lot of the times because it's not really a focused career on helping people, even though some people do. And I worked in so many places and so many different industries and firms. It just made me realize that I wanted more out of a career than just what is out there in the traditional legal field. So I think you can do that in other ways. You know, you don't have to stay in the legal field just to stay in it.
And you can be passionate in any profession, really, and speak your mind. You know, there's a lot of interesting things. I loved learning about the law in law school, and like, you know, legal writing was always fun for me. I just didn't really like the oral arguments type, courtroom type of vibe. I was just really hoping also that I would just be like rich by this point if I became an attorney.
Yep.
And instead I'm like negative rich.
Well, we have that law school everyone thought was a good idea.
The debt is like, that's what I thought I'd be like making, not what I would owe. So that was disappointing. We live and we learn. We crash and burn. And how do you feel about whenever people, because I feel like I get this a lot too, whenever people find out we're lawyers, they're like, if somebody wants to go to law school, they ask for advice.
They do.
It's just hard being the type of attorneys that aren't really as into it.
It makes it hard. Normally what I've now defaulted to is you have to really want to go. If you're going to go, don't just do it because someone told you to do it. Do it because you want to do it. And I think what it comes down to is if you're passionate about it, like I don't have any regrets. I learned a lot of skills. I met some of my best friends and it's gotten me this far in life. I think it's taught me a lot about myself and things in general. And we live in Charleston still. I think you can always look at pros and cons to things, but I've just defaulted to only if this is something that you're really passionate about, but don't just do it to just do it. It's too much debt and too much time and money and stress. I'm surprised we made it out, honestly. Some days I'm like, how did we do that for 2.5, 3 years, you know?
Neither of us slept for 3 years, so there's that.
Yes, we did not sleep for 3 years.
Yeah, a lot of sitting and a lot of reading, but I mean...
Someone asked me the other day, we should do a TikTok on some of the funniest cases we remember from law school or any memories. Not just like short clips, because I feel like those are stuff we would only know and people might think it's funny.
That sounds fun. I'd have to like refresh.
Thinking about like torts the other day.
Yeah,
you know,
the fireworks.
There's just a lot of funny memories. I feel like our commentary, now that we've been in it for a little while, the commentary could be funny.
Well, I guess people probably listening might not know what torts means, but it's like kind of like personal injury, but those cases are interesting.
We both took some interesting classes too.
Now, this question I had for you, it's kind of similar to what we've been talking about. Do you feel like your life is what you thought it would be from college on once you decided to be a lawyer, that this is what you imagined?
I'm not legally blonde, in case anyone's wondering.
She dyed her hair back.
I was blonde. Now I'm back to red. It's my natural color. I'm the redhead, legally blonde. But no. So in law school, I tried out a lot of types of law. I really worked and did the whole law school thing. And I wanted to make sure if I was going to pick something, it was worth my time to do it. And most of the things I did in law school, I didn't love. I didn't find one that I really enjoyed. And there were some that I liked, but I couldn't see doing as a career. So actually, when I graduated, I was just applying to whatever sparked my interest at the time. And if you would have literally polled everyone or bet $10 million, I never would have thought I ended up where I ended up in my career. Like, I would have never guessed that. It wasn't even something that was on my radar. And honestly, I also have been more in the regulatory legislative side of things that I'm not currently practicing every day. I'm using my legal skills, but I'm not doing it in the courtroom or doing a traditional type of law. So I really thought, even though I hated the courtroom, I would be like, practicing somehow, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And I think that's something that a lot of people that aren't lawyers, they don't realize is that there's so many different areas of law that really have nothing to do with being in a courtroom. So it's just like, sometimes that's hard to explain though, I think. But I will say that one of the things I would advise if anyone's considering going to law school, and I wish I had known this beforehand, is that if you're trying to decide on a law school and you already have a kind of idea of what kind of law you want to practice, because for example, for me, once I was in law school, I really am interested in international law. But where I went to law school and where I live doesn't really have a lot of opportunities for that. Or make sure you kind of look at the top industries in whatever state, unless if you're planning on moving back home. But I mean, I ended up staying here. So I was just definitely not in the field that I thought I would be in.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure. It's funny because I feel like in the back of my mind, I always knew eventually I would pivot out of the legal field. And I always thought we would do something together. And so it's funny that I think a podcast would be happening? I mean, no, but it's crazy how things work. I never would have thought pivoting from a legal field to a podcast and just finding different ways to explore those opportunities. I feel like most people in law school, like, no, they definitely wouldn't think that's where their career was headed. Because we graduated, goodness, it's going to be coming up on 10 years soon. That's crazy.
We are old.
Millennials!
And, you know, still poor. But yeah,
I mean, we still have a lot of debt.
Yeah, a lot of debt, but you know, it's not worth it. But besides just our careers, another thing, our philosophical question that I wanted to touch on is, what is adulting to you? Yeah, that's the new phrase they're using these days.
Adulting now became a verb, an adjective, all of the above. You can just
use complaint. We hate it.
We hate adulting. And I think it's different for different generations. Like,
when I think about it, I just think obviously having a job is a big part of it, but being able to support yourself, not depending on mom and dad, that's to me adulting. And some people, they don't have a choice. They kind of just had to do that. But I think it's important to get that independence regardless if you have that support. That's what I would say. Plus, I fail at a lot of adulting things, to be honest.
Honestly, I'm sitting here thinking about I have to get my oil changed.
I was going to say I'm late on my car registration renewal right now. So that's just an example, though, is trying to make sure you're getting those things.
What they don't tell you about adulting is how real it is when you actually are in it. Like getting a quote for 40 grand on yard work is insane.
Or 9 grand on tree work.
Yeah.
You know,
and having to do all the small things and all the big things. And I think there's a trend right now about adulting and figuring out how to find the balance between adulting and corporate life and work and family and also being happy. And I think that it is overwhelming these days to get it all done within 24 hours and do everything you're supposed to do. I don't know. It just feels more overwhelming in today's world for some reason.
It does.
I don't know what it is, but the adulting stuff is funny. There are things that I think all the time now. I can't believe I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Getting the trash cans or some small things and big things.
And that's funny too, because it's sometimes you think, how am I ever going to do that? But then once you start doing it, you realize how much more capable you are.
100%.
But it is scary still. I don't know if it's our generation, but I still get scared of certain things that I haven't done. That's like technically like an adult thing to do. God, I can't imagine what it would be like to get a colonoscopy. To be honest, like that's gonna scare me too. And I'm like, how am I gonna do that? I'm just gonna die. It's fine.
Also,
I don't think it's really required, but that's
right.
just like an example. You know, the medical stuff we're gonna have to face one day. I think men have to do that at a certain age.
Well,
like it's a requirement.
I feel like they should have. They need some pain in their life.
Yeah, get fucked.
I mean, women have to have kids, you know? Like, the worst they can do is get a fucking colonoscopy.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, make them suffer.
You know, I never thought of it that way, but that is so right. So
Give
valid.
them something to suffer about.
I did feel sorry for them until you said that.
It's equal playing fields, you know? Men always just, I swear, sometimes they're like the woman in the relationship, you know? They need some pain.
We get things shoved up us all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, so
like,
it's just like
how about you take some for the team?
Right.
Speaking of adulting, I feel like this is a controversial topic right now, but what do you think about like 50-50 split, like men and women with adulting things?
Do you
like
mean
chores,
like paying
everything?
I mean, you know, if I lived in a fantasy world, I would just be like treated like a queen and everything. But obviously, realistically, I think it's valid to do 50-50 split. I mean, that's kind of what I do already with my partner. But I hate the concept of just being super nitpicky about it, especially when it comes to things like if you're living with someone, food and groceries and stuff, don't put it down to the penny. Just help each other out. That's kind of how I feel. Don't let one person just take the brunt of everything. And that's with chores as well. I feel like it's a lot of times it's still a problem that men kind of rely on women to still do things around the house for the most part. I feel like, sadly, I mean, no offense to the millennial men out there, but I feel like a lot of them don't feel like they're capable of doing some of these things.
I agree.
Or maybe it's a game they're playing.
It's psychological.
Because my boyfriend, he'll say, "Oh, well, you just do it so much better." Like it's like washing the dishes. Like, you know, I feel like that's a common refrain though that men will say, "Well, I can't do it as well as you."
I just feel like because we are that weird generation, like it's almost a gap in between two generations sometimes, that there's just a lot of people who are kind of split on this. Like men should be doing more or women should be doing more or should be 50-50 because you have traditional and then you have untraditional, then you have 50-50 split. But I agree. I do think our generation leans more 50-50.
Well, it also depends if both partners are working, because obviously if somebody's not working, I feel like that's very rare, unless if it's like a situation where I feel like you always see the male doctor and the wife that stays at home or something. Lucky bitches.
Someone find me a doctor.
If I were to stay at home, and not even a mom, because a stay-at-home mom's a job
it is
in itself, but if you're just
stay-at-home wife,
I feel like it's fine if you put more effort into the housework maybe, but
it's all dependent on your situation. It's crazy that this is controversial to admit, but I do think most women, it's like, if we were in an ideal world, I mean, sure, we'd all be treated like princesses.
Yeah.
In this day and age, it's more common 50-50, and honestly, I feel like men, some of them have to be picked up off the ground a little bit to like get to 50-50, taught that, unfortunately. But I do think that's the most common thing right now.
I just think, like I said, in our generation, everyone's working. So it kind of just makes sense. But there's still people that have kind of the traditional beliefs that the women take care of the kids, they do the housework, they do it all, and the men just take out the trash, basically.
I'm sorry.
You
That's
know?
the biggest ick. I really can't. Like, parenting a man.
Well, see, here's how I think of it is that, it's annoying, but sometimes I do have a little bit of sympathy for men because it's like, can they really help they were raised that way. Because a lot of times their mothers do everything for them. I mean, that's how it was in my household. My younger brother, I feel like he didn't have to do any of the chores and it was all put on me. So, I mean, I have a little bit of sympathy, but that's why it's important to communicate if you're getting in a relationship with a guy. Hey, this is what I expect, or piss off. Like, because in my current relationship, that was one of the things I mentioned. I really want a partner, like a partner that will help me when I need it, and I'll help you when you need it. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Wait, did I say that right?
Yeah, okay. Well, Brittany can have the sympathy for the both of us. My sympathy bar is very low these days.
I'm soft-hearted, I suppose.
She is. I do think that one thing that you brought up about just women in general, going back to the topics on the career, is I do think women in the legal field are different standard than men in the legal field, whether people want to believe that or not. So all that to say is that a lot of my commentary around talking about our experience there is because I'm a woman, a younger woman in the legal field, and I've had to fight tooth and nail to work my way up to get to where I'm at, and I still make less than the men do at the end of the day. And so I do think it is a traditional field. I think the field is growing, and there's more women in the field now, because women were viewed as like assistants to the male lawyers. I will say it is definitely still a more traditional field when it comes down to talking about work.
Because even just with paralegals, you rarely see a male paralegal. It's always a woman, and it's usually a male lawyer. So yeah, it's very male dominated. And
I'll never forget when I was working at that law firm in law school, and I was being friendly with the paralegal, and my boss sat me down and was like, you can't be friends with them, they're below you, and you need to be above them, and you cannot be nice to the help. He literally was like, because you're gonna need to get respect as a woman in the field, and you can't be friends with the other women assistants, and you have to talk down to them like I do.
How did you react to that?
I cried and walked out.
In front of him?
Yes. And then I quit a couple weeks later.
Yeah,
because
that's terrible.
It's just one of those things that was the viewpoint. Yeah. And it really had an impact on me.
I don't agree with that at all, because there's no sympathy for me on that end. Like,
she has a limit.
Yeah, I do have a limit, and that is one of the limits.
I think it was more so shocking to me because I had put so much effort into that job, and because I didn't have a legal job before that, or any experience in it, so I didn't know what I was walking into, and it was an all-male firm. Like, the lawyers were all male. Yeah. And so it really showed my perspective on a lot of things. And then I decided that I didn't want to be the person he wanted me to be. So I knew I couldn't work there.
Well, one thing I can say is that man is definitely beneath the ground. He's on the lowest level. So, I mean, for saying something like that, you know, and having that opinion, that's crazy.
But if anyone knows a rich doctor that can be my ideal man and I don't have to work anymore, have an OnlyFans, let me know.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's just need a sugar daddy.
Sugar daddies.
So we're operating on one mic today. 2 girls, one mic. Part of adulting.
We're trying our best, guys.
Another thing I wanted to ask is, how do you feel like we're adults now, even though it still doesn't feel real?
It doesn't.
Especially with the Hello Kitty and stuffed animals behind us. But I do still feel like a kid, but I feel like I've grown a lot as well. And I do feel like I'm capable and I'm independent. So I do feel like an adult. But how do you think we're still growing up? Or how do you feel like you're still growing up? Yeah, not like getting taller. I know that's gone.
We're both really short guys.
The better way to put it is, what are you still working on?
I'm working on myself every day.
But
that's why we're in therapy.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. For me, therapy, I always got to like figure out.
You always got to work on yourself.
Yeah. I feel it's just like setting goals too. Trying to like figure out what areas I want to improve in life.
And I think it's something that when you set a goal and you keep it for yourself, you're really proud of that. Like starting this podcast. I mean, this is our 2nd episode. How crazy, you know, that we're actually doing this. So it's a proud moment to watch us grow into even more like adults, but like our own way.
And also just finding people, because I probably wouldn't do this without you. So I mean, finding people that help you grow, I think that's important.
A really big impact.
Yeah.
Finding people that help you grow.
And a lot of people, I think, get stuck because they're with people that are doing the opposite, like bringing you down. It doesn't even have to be like your partner. Even if you just have a toxic family member or something, but you feel like pressured still. If you feel stuck, just try to reevaluate. Yeah.
Reevaluate and put yourself first. Be your own biggest cheerleader. And surround yourself with people that give you good energy. And if people don't, it's okay to find that group of people that really support you and really have your back. And whether that's friends, family, relationship, You have to find a way to find happiness in this world because it's really hard sometimes. It is really easy to not work on yourself and to not put yourself first and to not find great people that you surround yourself with. When I was surrounding myself with not great people, I was really down on myself a lot. And then I started to focus on my friendships that mattered, and you watch like your light come back. And I think it makes a difference when you do that. And that's part of adulting too. It can be about physical things, mental things, friends, family. It can be about anything.
I realized how important it is to be selfish.
100%.
I mean, like, it's okay to not people please because we both have those tendencies. And I think that's really been a game changer.
And I think it's really good to reflect on that kind of stuff. It takes time to understand yourself better, recognize things, but being able to reflect really makes a difference. I think that's part of adulting too, is taking that time to like really sit with yourself and figuring things out.
I will just say, I'd like to conclude this like point, if you're listening, that you are capable. You can do it. Like, even if you're afraid, there's a lot of YouTube tutorials out there. The internet is our like biggest hype person.
Biggest supporter. I can echo what Brittany says, is that anything's scary. Risks are scary. Change is scary. Life is scary, but do what you want to do.
I'm scared to do this because it's definitely not the practical life that I thought. But, you know, I'm going to do it anyways because Lauren's making me.
Yeah, she's held hostage, actually. So if people want to start donating so Brittany can get out of this. I mean, but it's crazy. I think we're a testament of it, though. Come on. Most people wouldn't say two lawyers who are best friends are going to start a podcast. I mean, nowadays it's more common, but out of our friend group, no one else is doing it. If you take anything away from this episode, which I like to think every episode you take something away, is put yourself out there. Do what you want to do. Be happy. Find something that brings you joy and do it. Like, this brings me joy. You can make friends and make your own family any way that you want. We'll support you guys too, so why don't you share with us in the comments on YouTube or wherever on social media what, you know, brings you joy and what you think of adulting, and if you want to share any links to what you guys have working on. Brittany and I check out all kinds of stuff. Account will follow your account.
Yeah, you can also just drop some resources, YouTube videos or whatever that helped you grow in some way.
If you want to tag a friend and listen to the episode together, it's fun. I mean, that's the whole point of this, is to create a community.
Also, let us know what you wanted to be when you grew up as a kid, and if it aligns with what you're doing now.
I actually think that's the most interesting question to ask anyone. Like, what did you want to be? What are you doing now? And where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because those answers can be 3 totally different answers.
Right. And especially if you're like from our generation, I find that interesting because I can relate. Well, I did have like a little something I wanted to share. Okay. So I have an elementary school yearbook from 5th grade, and there's just a couple things in it that I just like thought were cool. I know not everybody has this type of thing, but for my elementary school, they did class superlatives. So the students voted on who they thought like was most likely to whatever. So I was listed in 5 out of 14. Okay. And apparently that wasn't good enough for me because I opened this yearbook and I saw that I put 5 out of 14 and then I put the word sucky in purple pen. I was disappointed. I was like, wow, only 5.
Okay, that's clown.
Which is funny. But I was very obnoxious, like, as a child.
When you make some of the funniest jokes in my life.
Well, part of it is because I do try. I like making people laugh. But also, things just like pop into my head sometimes. You know what I mean? And then I just say it. I feel like I said things like out loud a lot, like when I was in especially elementary school, until the man beat me down and was like, you can't do this. Yeah, I was definitely trying to.
Okay.
Most likely to be president.
Most likely to be CEO, which we are CEOs of our own business now.
So I've got that
and
checked off.
And we were talking about earlier, like, maybe we should just run for president.
My granny always tells me that. It's so sweet.
That is really sweet.
As if I could.
Yeah.
I can barely handle I can't get my registration renewed. Like, how am I supposed to do? But I feel like I would be a funny president. That would be my goal. I'd just stand up at the White House.
They'd be like, there she goes again.
I would be the person that I just make everyone sit down and just listen to my stand-up bits.
Like the 10-minute bit. Stand-up act.
Like my cabinet. Sorry, guys.
Okay, most studious. I mean, that's not shocking at all. I would 100%.
That's very on brand.
Yes. And then most musical. I could see that, though.
You know, I think I just sang out a lot.
But honestly, one of the things that we do bond over and vibe over is like, we really love music. That's why this podcast is lyrics,
it is on brand with the podcast.
Like, you know, we were looking at so many titles for the podcast and we got to this one and we both started singing the song.
Whatever you
And then we played the song, we played it over and over again, and it just stuck.
Yeah.
So, like, I could see that, though. We bond on that.
Although I'm not good at instrument, but I'm guessing when people filled this out, they didn't think of it as instrument.
No, they didn't.
But that's what I would have thought of.
Did you play an instrument in school?
No, I was not an instrument.
I played the flute.
Nice. So you're good at it?
No.
Okay.
About as good as I am at Duolingo.
I will say that I have a ukulele now. I got it as an adult.
I've been to your house 1,000 times. Where the fuck is a ukulele?
It's in that corner over there.
Oh, okay.
It's behind all the VHS tapes. It was when I first moved out from breaking up with my ex, and it was my first time living alone, and I was like, wow, I need to find some things to keep me distracted. I ordered a ukulele. That's also when I started my Korean lessons.
That makes sense.
I was trying to do a lot of things to keep me occupied. The ukulele didn't really stick, but I'll try again one day.
I played the flute. I tried the clarinet and I hated it. So then I went with the flute, and that was a lot harder. And then when I graduated high school, I had a boyfriend at the time. We broke up and I needed to put my energy into something. And I don't think I ever told you this.
I didn't even know you played the flute.
This is the point of the podcast.
Well, that's our next project. We'll start a band. We'll get the ukulele out, and then your flute.
Wait. You didn't hear my last instrument. So when I graduated and I broke up with my toxic ex-boyfriend, I took up guitar.
Wow.
I had different guitars, and they were 2 pink ones, and I got them custom made because I thought I was going to be Taylor Swift.
My mind is so fucking blown right now. I never knew that about you.
I have all these picks too that I kept at my house.
Sure. Well, see, the thing is I always wanted to play the guitar too, but my hands are so small they can't move, and it hurts.
It's almost like you have to grow the muscles.
Yeah, and I'm not good at growing muscles, to be honest. I have tried, and well, not really, but I mean, it's still hard.
One of our strong suits. We're really good at.
Wow.
I could play a Taylor Swift song on the guitar.
Wow. You should have just been a pop star or something.
Well, I think that's why I was really into news reporting and music. Remember we talked about hobbies last week and what we did as a kid and stuff?
Yeah, and you failed to mention that you're a guitarist. When's the last time you played guitar then?
Before law school. But honestly, I don't mean this to scare anyone or anything, but law school takes up your whole life.
Oh yeah. No, it should scare you.
I literally didn't sleep for 3 years. And so I feel honestly in that time I wasn't doing anything for myself.
I didn't read during law school other than what we had to, and I'm a huge reader, and I didn't even read while I was in law school. There's just nothing else you could do, really.
It's almost now I'm taking the time to find the hobbies again now and do things for myself.
I was actually just thinking about whenever we were talking about being in band, my brother is going to hate me for this, but how about the fact that my younger brother got a D in band? In middle school. But it's funny is all you had to do was fill out the things and have somebody sign off on it. Bro,
I know.
Literally, bro. What are you doing? And then my older brother, on the other hand, he can play any instrument pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, he's a musician. I mean, he's not on Spotify. He probably doesn't know what that is. But when I was telling him about the podcast, he was like, "Well, you should Skype me in." I was like, "Nobody fucking uses Skype."
Oh, see, Brittany gets on me for saying things like slides and stuff. I'm looking at my Instagram slides, and he just used Skype. That's AOL Messenger.
Might as well be Internet Explorer.
MySpace.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just funny.
That's hilarious.
I was in choir, if anyone wants to know, but not saying I'm a good singer, but I didn't want to do the instrument things.
What's funny is I also wanted to do choir too, but I was one of those kids that wanted to try everything when I was young.
I feel you always want to do the hardest thing possible.
Give me the hardest thing, and I'll try it.
And I'm the exact opposite. I'm where can I rest my feet? But anyways, those were the superlatives. And then just really quickly, so it's just funny because in this yearbook at the very end, there's a favorites list that they had us write out. So it's different categories. My favorite TV program was Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Wow, okay.
I would stay up late nights.
I haven't heard of that show in years, but I also would watch it when I was with my grandparents.
Yeah. When I stayed at my grandma's pretty much every weekend, and I'd always watch it on TV.
Yeah,
there.
My grandma always had it on.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
My favorite movie was You Got Served.
I've never seen it.
The dancing movie? Okay, we have to watch this.
This is Step Up?
It's better than Step Up.
Okay.
It's the original.
So we'll put that on our list and I'll review it on TikTok.
Okay, we gotta have you watch that. It's basically a dancing movie.
I'll watch it and then put a review. I love Step Up.
Yeah. It's like Step Up, but it's just different storyline. Yeah, and then my favorite actor, I wrote Tom Cruise and Viggo Mortensen. I misspelled his name, but that's the guy. He's the guy who plays Aragorn in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
And then my favorite actress, I wrote Kate Beckinsale, which is interesting because I definitely don't feel that way now just because I don't see her anything. But like, I think my mom was like super into Underworld. So like, and Van Helsing and like things like that. So like, I saw her a lot. I think I just didn't know who to put. But my favorite foods were French fries and mac and cheese. Still the same. Sports to play was basketball.
We're short.
I played basketball.
And it worked out?
Yeah, I was a point guard. Because I was short.
Everyone always told me I couldn't play basketball because I was short.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was in elementary. So it's like everyone's kind of short. No, I played basketball. I was the point guard.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. You know, the only sports I ever did were in elementary school because I didn't have the confidence to do it once I got to middle school. I was too intimidated by all the new kids and stuff. But I do wish I had like played basketball more because I do like playing. But
I'm just surprised. That's all.
Yeah. And then sports to watch. My favorite sport to watch was baseball. Not really true today. Well, my brother played baseball, my younger brother, and then my dad was a coach while I was in high school for the baseball team. He went to college with baseball. So, I mean, I do still like it, but I actually like watching football more these days.
Yeah.
Because of fantasy.
She has a fantasy league.
I have a fantasy league.
We play in it
I'm an expert. No, I'm just kidding.
Our teams are really great.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is really random, but I saw a TikTok earlier that was like, if you're pissed off at your boyfriend, instead of, doing anything dramatic, just go on his fantasy app and delete his quarterback. I was like, yes.
So the problem with that is my boyfriend is the commissioner for my league, and he also would never in a million years let me anywhere near that. I mean, that's just not happening.
That's for the girls that can get access to that. That's my advice. If it's on you, you drop his quarterback.
Yeah.
Both of them. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
No, my favorite song was Yeah by Usher. Subject in school was language, which is weird. Like I called it language back then. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I feel like now it's called
English.
But
like was
back
language.
it was language.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they realized, oh, there's more than one.
So we should call it English because that's what we're teaching.
Yeah, but it is funny.
That is funny.
A favorite teacher, all of them. Wow, I was a suck up.
Well, Brittany's always been a people pleaser, so she loves everyone.
It's funny because I also was very against authority though back then. I would get in trouble for yelling at teachers if they pissed me off. But but I was a good student other than that. Yeah. But I definitely got some bad report cards. Favorite book, Harry Potter. Favorite leisure activity, listen to music. Wow. Full circle.
Full circle.
What did I want to study in college? Animals, career, vet. We already kind of talked about this. I actually said vet or a person who wants to run an animal shelter. Which we are going to do that. Yeah. So like that's going to come full circle. And the most ironic thing, the favorite place that I wanted to live one day, I wrote South Carolina.
Well, that is so ironic. Had you been here before?
I had been to Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
So like for West Virginia, Myrtle Beach is like Panama City. Okay, like it's the thing to go to.
We went there a lot.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people up north actually go to Myrtle Beach, but it's like a big deal.
It is a big deal.
So
you go for a whole week. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's funny because I didn't even know what Charleston, like South Carolina, was until law school when I started applying. I had never heard of it.
I have never been here.
But now, like, I realize so many people know it. It's more famous than I would have thought. It's
like when people say I'm going to Miami. It's like people are like, oh, I'm going to Charleston. It's like super cool. It's a hot spot.
It's like a place that people are coming to.
People want to be here. Like people want to come here.
It's nuts.
That is kind of crazy that you put South Carolina though.
It is kind of interesting too. I feel like I'm still the same person that I was in 5th grade in a lot of ways. I mean, it's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
Did you remember any superlatives that you got whenever you were in school? Best dress,
best hair.
Best hair. Do you think that the teachers or like the people that you like grew up with would be surprised at where you are now?
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Like even your profession?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I do think so. Because I think back then that they probably would have thought that I would have been doing something like this versus like a really serious job. I did well in school and I was in all the honors classes and stuff, but I think they could tell I wasn't passionate about it.
Gotcha.
My interests were I did it because I had to. It was just something that like having a super serious career, I feel like that would be shocking to people.
It is kind of funny when I look back at those superlatives and I'm like, somehow I got class clown, but then also most likely to be CEO. It's kind of like ironic. I feel like that is my personality, unfortunately, kind of like a mixture, and I've always struggled with figuring out what to do because of that.
Me
it's like
too.
I like learning, that kind of stuff, but I also like vibing as well.
And I hate being told what to do anymore.
I hate that too. I hate authority.
That's why we're telling ourselves what to do and starting our own podcast.
Yeah. exactly. It's the goal.
And Brittany's the director.
Right.
We're taking control of our own lives. Join us.
Yeah.
Come to the good side.
But yeah, the next thing we were going to play a little game. I feel like it's a game that probably girls only would remember.
Probably.
I don't think boys were doing this at their sleepovers, but if you were, please let me know because that is amazing. Comment.
You know what? All you girls, go ask your boyfriends if they know.
But you know what's funny is that I know I haven't mentioned the game yet, but when I think back to girls sleepovers versus boys sleepovers, I feel like the boys, they probably did video games and then just stupid shit. And I mean, maybe it was fun, but I feel like we definitely had the better.
We had way more fun.
We had more creative things that were going on.
Fun. So drum roll, please. What's the game?
The game is MASH. So for those of you who don't know, it's relevant to today's episode because it's a game that you play with your girlfriends at sleepovers. So MASH stands for mansion, apartment, shack, house. The point of the game is to predict your future. So you can create your own categories in the game. And within each category, one would be your career. And so you can write down 5 career options and they could be funny. And basically the person that's writing those down, they don't show the other person whose future they're predicting. So the person that's doing the predicting, you just do the spiral, and then the person that's needing their future predicted tells you when to stop, and then you count the lines, and then you just go through the list and cross off based on the counting, and then whenever the last option available in the category, that's your future for that. So we're gonna do it live,
and we're gonna post the results on social media so you can see how it works. You can kind of see the cross outs and stuff.
Right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Stop.
So for me, I think that's 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So 3.
Countdown.
Ready, set,
stop.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. We both
First
did 3.
We picked the right same lyric.
But that's cool because we made different lists.
Yeah, so we did make different lists.
Right,
ready to go.
This is the big reveal. Do you want to reveal my future first?
Sure. Okay, here's your future. All right, guys. Yeah. So you're going to live in a house. Your husband/boyfriend is going to be Jim. From the Whatever I Like.
Oh my god.
Jim, you got Jim. Sorry. That's who you got.
He said I could have whatever I like, at least.
Your car/vehicle is going to be a golf cart. Your pet is going to be a parrot that yells your ex's name. Your career is a Vanderpump Rules bartender.
Okay.
And your children is you guys own a Furby.
My child's a Furby. You need to send that one out for adoption or something. I don't know.
Did you have Furbies growing up?
Yeah, I did. No, I liked them, but I don't know if I could own one these days. It's just a little too much.
I know. It's funny. All the other ones were kids, 12 kids.
Yeah.
Kids. And I was I'm just going to throw in something funny. And I was trying to think of a millennial thing. I don't know why I've been thinking about Furbies lately, Well,
one of my grannies, she has a Furby.
Really?
I think somebody got it for her for Christmas, not that long ago.
That's
and
so
she loves
funny.
it. Yeah. So.
And then your location is going to be Hogwarts.
Oh, that's the best answer. Out of all of them, makes it worth it.
With Jim and your golf cart, you got a parrot, and you're a Vanderpump Rules bartender, you have a Furby, and you live in Hogwarts.
Okay. I can get down with the Hogwarts. Everything else is worth it. You want to hear your future?
Yeah. What's
Lauren's future. Okay. You will also live in a house.
Nice.
We have a compound. Your husband is going to be Chris Brown. Oh. R.I.P. your face.
Okay.
But you guys can do the dance.
We can do the dance together.
Yeah. And then your career, you're going to be a makeup artist.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's a nice one. And I can see you doing that.
That's because I can hide my bruises.
I mean, that's true. It's all going to work out. Your vehicle is going to be a Tesla.
Okay, I can't picture Chris Brown in a Tesla, but we'll go with it.
Well, at least you didn't get Elon Musk as your husband. You're going to have one boy and one girl for your kids.
Okay.
So
that's
basic. You're going to have 12 cats.
Oh, God.
And then you're going to live in France.
Wow.
You actually ended up pretty good. Yeah.
Un chat. I'm going to own un chat.
Yeah. So Lauren's learning French on Duolingo. So this is a real possibility.
Yeah. But, I am learning French.
Yeah.
So it'd be great for my house with Chris Brown in France.
Yeah.
That's some future, let me tell you.
Tess ooh la la. That's what you can call your car.
Tess ooh la la. Well, because if anyone's seen Chris Brown's concerts recently where he invites a girl on stage,
he Magic Mikes them.
Yeah. But some of them get a little interesting. So, if you ever get bored, search it up and watch some.
Well, is he single?
Well, we're married now. So.
Yeah, not anymore.
What was your favorite option for me? Which one would you have picked?
So I wish you had gotten Russ instead of Chris Brown. I did put Russ on there.
He's my celebrity crush.
Yeah.
He does have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Great, but I would prefer it be me.
So, yeah, that would have been my ideal choice for you. And then career-wise, I mean, I feel like the makeup
that
artist,
one was good.
You know, I had stripper on there, but
I could also do that. You know, my OnlyFans.
What about me? Did you have anything? Like, what? None of these men options are good. You have Hey Arnold, Jax Taylor, Pete Davidson. Like, literally, I did luck out with Jim. I mean, I can't. I'm going to say it's Jim from The Office.
But I think Hogwarts is the best option.
Yeah. I like the career of a cat cafe owner.
I thought that was cute.
Mall Santa. Wow. You just want to sit on my lap.
With Jim?
Yeah. Well, guess who's getting a lump of coal this year?
But see, I put a herd of ducks.
Yeah,
episode.
That could deal
duck
with
herding.
That. Yeah.
You know what's funny is because Brittany brought up this game to close out the segment, and you know we talked.
And I'm regretting it. Deeply regretting it now. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny because I tried to like think back to that time and like my life, and I would pick the craziest stuff and put it on here. Now, of course, I could do one that's more geared towards you, like in your stuff. And
we just did a mixture.
Yeah.
Like there would be some like options that were really bad, and then some that were like ideal for the person. So it really was like a game of fate, really.
Yeah.
You know, definitely 50-50.
Mine was more. Yours was 50-50. Mine was more like 80,
so
20.
you see, I think we were trying to like just make sure that they're happy in some aspect.
Yeah.
We were just like, no, you're gonna have the worst life no matter what.
What do you mean? Live in Hogwarts.
Yeah. That is, you know, that's a good one. I should have known.
I should have known. We've been friends for this long. I was gonna come up with some crazy shit.
But whenever you were writing your list down, you gave no indication. You didn't laugh. You didn't like. You know, it was very studious.
You want to know how serious I was taking this?
Yeah, I know.
Is that the final ruling?
That's the final ruling.
So the final
this
ruling.
is our future. Yeah. But that was a fun game, and
you should do that with your friends. Like,
yeah, everyone should do it.
Well, they should post the results on TikTok and tag us.
Yeah, this is adulting.
This is adulting. What else would we do?
We're like, you know, we're at 30% of our life.
If you like need to figure something out, just put it on here, and you know, let the cards fall where they fall.
Yeah, if you're trying to make a life change, this is a great tool.
Yeah. Like, because it'll really make you think about what you're gonna pick. Once you pick one, you'll trust your gut. And you won't end up with Jim or Chris Brown.
I mean, some of this, you can't just force Chris Brown to be your husband.
I don't know. He'd probably like that.
I don't know what Jim's doing, but I mean,
if you want it from folks who are tuning in today, tune into last week's episode and then go watch the TikTok with Jim.
Yeah, you'll understand. So one of the things I was thinking about today, it just so happened that it popped up on my Facebook page. I'm gonna say this because it's kind of heavy, but it's short.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna follow it up with a little bit lightheartedness after that. So the title of this podcast today is when I grow up. Mm-hmm. We've been talking a lot about how whenever we were kids and, you know, what we wanted to be when we grew up. It just so happened that somebody had posted a story or like a repost from a few years ago. It was somebody I went to elementary school with, but all through high school as well. But they had, you know, passed away. And I feel like that's just something that I wanted to say that I feel like it's really a privilege to be able to grow up at all. Even the people you don't really talk to in high school or middle school, it's still always impactful when you lose someone at a young age and didn't really get to go forward. I wanted to list some funny answers that I saw on the internet about that answer to that question, like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
We're still figuring it out, you know, in our 30s.
But it's like such a big question, and it's something that's always asked like multiple times as you're like going through life and everything.
I mean, what I will say is that like life is short. And I think sometimes when you do feel overwhelmed by everything in life, you just have to remind yourself that because life is short. Yeah. And I do think I've had folks who I went to high school with pass away. That's why people might think it's crazy that we're in our 30s and starting a podcast. You know, no one's promised tomorrow.
Exactly.
So just put yourself out there, do what you want to do, try new things, have fun, enjoy your life. And I hope you get that from this podcast, is we're just two regular people, you know, having great conversations, and more people should do this with their best friend. You'll learn something new about each other. So,
and it's also never too late.
It's never too late.
Start something different.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never, ever too late. Yeah. Life is all about perspective. You know, it's one of those things. I choose to look at the positives in life because life is short. I hope we find that community on this page, a community of like great people who support each other and get something from this and share it with their friends and family. That's all we can hope for by doing this. Because like we're doing it for fun too, but also I hope people take stuff away from it.
Yeah, it's like nostalgic. I think it's important to remember your past and where you came from and, you know, but also still have hope for yourself. Future. And we're always going to be growing up until we're like old.
Oh my gosh, we're always going to be growing up.
Yeah.
We are.
So some of the funny, these are from the internet, but some of the funny answers to what do you want to be when you grow up that I thought were worth mentioning. Yeah. Professional napper.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. Snack quality control officer.
You know what? I always wanted to be one of those food tester people.
Yeah. There was another one that was like an ice cream tester. Yeah, I would love that.
That would be my ideal job.
Yeah, that would be a great job to have.
Like, how do people get these jobs? Like, I don't understand. We just went to law school.
Well, maybe we'll have a segment where we can do a little, kind of like a mukbang, but all the Ben and Jerry flavors.
Let's do it. If you want to see that, let us know.
We'll set up a GoFundMe.
Comment. We'll set up our OnlyFans so we can fund the Ben and Jerry's. Oh my God, we'll eat it on OnlyFans.
God. Yeah. With our husbands, Jim and Chris Brown.
Oh my God, I'll get a cardboard cutout and we'll put them behind us and we'll eat ice cream.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Would you subscribe?
But yeah, no, that would be fun. And then another funny one was a pet translator, which I feel like,
okay,
you know, again, something we can do on the internet.
Yeah.
Just going to have like a segment where we film the animals and just give them their own personalities. I'm going to translate it for you all.
But I like to think like my cat can understand me, so like I talk back to her and she talks back to me. Your cats talk back too.
They talk back. I know what they're saying. They're saying, "Feed me, bitch."
Where's the food? That's literally what my cats do. They stare at me.
Yeah, they do. They definitely talk. If you think cats don't talk,
they shit talk.
They shit talk.
You know those memes where they're like, dogs are like, "Hi, nice to meet you," and cats are like, "Fuck you." I'm like, that's exactly it. Like that's it to a T.
But yeah, being a pet translator would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So that's really all I have for this topic. But do you have any 200 words or less thoughts to close out?
No, this was a really great episode. Everyone give us feedback, but only if it's nice, not if it's mean feedback. We don't want mean people. Like, you know,
our OnlyFans. OnlyFans.
I really enjoyed it. I think we learned something about each other. Yeah, I thought it was really fun.
That was the best part. Just like feeling like so surprised that you're like a fucking musician. I'm just like, what the hell? You think you know someone. This is why like it's like hard because, you know, like that's why people dated Ted Bundy. Yeah. It's like you just really can never know, no matter how much time you talk to them, spend with them. And then you're like, that's my worst fear. Wow.
Date a serial killer.
Yeah, this was a fun time.
I just enjoyed the episode.
Everyone else thought it was fun.
Everyone else thought it was fun too.
Yeah, just
we look forward to next week. We'll be back.
So peace out, Shawtys.
Peace out, Shawtys. Subscribe and like, please. We really don't want to start an OnlyFans where we eat ice cream.
Yeah.
And I moo.
Help us grow up. Help us rectify our poor career choices.
Yes, please. Support us that we're making the right decision with our new career choices. Yeah. Well, bye, Shawtys.
Bye.
Love ya. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Whatever You Like podcast, available on Spotify and Apple platforms.
Please follow our socials on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for additional content. Your support means the world to us, and it'll also keep us from creating an OnlyFans page.
We also would love to talk about whatever you like, so please visit our website to submit topic ideas, suggestions, or stories you want us to discuss.
Thanks, Shawtys. You the hottest. Peace!